Hello and welcome to CLMB's Cracked Knuckle Productions. My name is Chris, and this is Explorers of Weyard Icons. Today, by request, I'm going to be talking about the elemental lighthouses that I designed for Project Weyard, as well as the Babby Lighthouse and Mount Aleph, since they all, in my mind, kind of work together. So, let me go ahead and get started. So, these were a lot of fun, along with the elemental rocks, with each of these places being kind of capstones in their games, major areas. When designing these, it should be said that I had always kind of imagined these, since the games came out early in the 2000s, fairly similar to the towers in Lord of the Rings. At the time, that was something that I was really interested in, and kind of when I was playing the games, I always imagined them to be looking something like this. And so, for me, that's my mental image that I have, and I've kind of always kept that. And even playing the games, you'll see that there are certain elements that are kind of suggest kind of these sharp points at the top. But that's honestly where I got a lot of my inspiration for these. So one of the first ones that I did was the Venus Lighthouse here. And I knew that, actually, the first one was the Mercury Lighthouse. That was a mistake. And you can see that I have a lighthouse. Let's go ahead and remove some of this text. Okay, so we have the Mercury Lighthouse on the edge of a cliff with kind of ice kind of pushing up against it. This is, as you might be able to see from later on, fairly simple. For the most part, the building is made up of a whole bunch of kind of sharp points like this. Let's see if I can give you kind of a look. So that's kind of it without like the kind of the icicles that I was kind of like, oh, this would be a kind of a cool little feature to include. And we have it going up. Here we have the where the mouse is. These are the elevators, and you can see they would go down all the way, and in my mind, they make their way all the way to the bottom down here. Something that's kind of interesting, if you have noticed, there's this little smoke over here. This is Emil, and where you have the small little village. And so you can imagine, oh, okay, you're walking across, going over, and then you make your way up to the Mercury Lighthouse. I think this is was a lot of fun to be able to do. Kind of like the drifting ice that you see in the water over here. The constellation, the moon, the mountains. You have the mountains that you going through in the games, and so you can kind of see, oh, okay, that's what those are, the silhouette of the mountains. So yeah, then the second lighthouse that I did was the Venus Lighthouse. And this was again, a lot of fun to be able to work on. And I wanted to work on trying to incorporate some little Easter eggs of sorts here. Very interesting. You can see that I have remainder of kind of my first original Babby Lighthouse. But when I was doing this, you can see it's kind of cut off, and being a little lazy, I was like, I'm not going to necessarily need to use this, so I kept it there. But anyways, this right here is the Babby Lighthouse. But here we have a bit of the Venus Lighthouse. And this design here that you have like these, again, kind of the three icicles that are hanging down. This is, again, inspiration from the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, when you have the Hornburg of Helm's Deep. There's kind of this big, the horn that's kind of put into the tower, there's kind of a little jetty. And I thought this would be a cool little design to be able to show it kind of flaring out. So it starts at the bottom, going up, and it flares out and then goes back. And again, here you have your elevator shafts that go up and down. I added 4 little towers around the edges to kind of show, just kind of added some variation compared to the other ones, with kind of some arched things. And I tried actually to do a little bit of a 3D effect. You can see here I have this bridge kind of jutting out, and you have the wall kind of going in, and oh look, you can see that this tower is behind the main wall. For the design, if we look at our Venus Lighthouse in the game, you can see like it's outside, built into the cliff. You have like the entrance to the door, and that would be kind of you would think of that as being kind of like in this area. Let me move this over. And then you have at the top, you have this kind of the elevators, and then you have this little walkway, and then the stairs going up. That's represented up here. You have the elevators, you have the little walkway, and the stairs that would go to the top. They put the star in, or the elemental stars in, and then you have the beacon being lit. And I don't know, this is maybe not, this is just kind of a way to add a little bit of color to the map. I had a kind of a tan and green motif going to kind of give it that earthy look, even though that in the game it's for the most part kind of a light purple with kind of some sand stuff. So but that was kind of what I was wanting to do. And then of course, being that you have Sheba and Felix falling into the ocean, I needed to make sure that they were fairly close to that. And so, yeah, kind of seeing where that is. But yeah, over here we have the Babby Lighthouse. Now, with that, let's take a look at the Babby Lighthouse. So you can see here that I have actually the same silhouette. Again, my design thing was to be doing these smaller icons in black, white, and gray. And so all I did is I took this and I flipped it around because you're looking at it from a different perspective. And hey, look there, you have yourself the Venus Lighthouse again, because in the distance you would be able to see it. And we can see here, let's go back to our layers. Let me put this on. So you can see the way that I've designed this red, these blue bars here indicate that there is a passage between 2 locations. And so Babby Lighthouse and the Venus Lighthouse are connected via the tunnel ruins. And so I have that indicated in both of these places. And they're both dungeons, and so they have the little red arc going over them. Interesting note, the Venus Lighthouse has no Dijin, as opposed to as opposed to the Mercury Lighthouse, the Jupiter Lighthouse, and the Mars Lighthouse. Mercury Lighthouse has 2 Dijin, thanks to Mia, and then Jupiter Lighthouse. And then the Mars Lighthouse has 2 Dijin that you can actually get. Also, you have here the different, you have carry that you get in the tunnel, or in the Venus Lighthouse. And here in the Mars Lighthouse, you get teleport. So that's kind of an explanation of what it is that these little icons are here at the bottom. So anyways, so that's the Venus Lighthouse. And then third, let's go ahead and take a look at the Jupiter Lighthouse. Now, this was probably one of my favorite ones to design. And again, kind of borrowing from my idea for the Venus Lighthouse with these kind of 4 towers, I designed it with kind of 4 towers on the sides that kind of all reach up, more kind of like a flying buttress, think Notre Dame or something like that, and that all go into this lighthouse. And then you have these big towers up here that are kind of the elevators and the central spire, and it's a very clashy in its color, and with the lightning and everything. It's just a lot of fun to be able to kind of think through this. Not a lot of detail here at the bottom on the base, but you have a big door, almost kind of like a coffin. To me, the Jupiter Lighthouse was always the most difficult, and I always kind of dreaded going into it. So yeah, going into a coffin. But anyways, it kind of definitely the most spaceshipy type one, and I kind of got that from, if we look at even the original sprite, you can kind of see some of that for the tower, some of that. But yeah, you have these big bridges that span from the center to the side, and that's what you have over here. That's this section here. And so I wanted to make sure that that was incorporated in it. And so yeah, there's the usual door. It's quite small, but I made it larger. But yeah, so you have this kind of area. Something that I didn't include was this broken part of the bridge. Anyways, that's something that I didn't pay attention to very closely. And then at the top, again, you have your the 2 towers with the elevator shafts. And again, you kind of can see that here. You have the 2 main towers, and with the elevator shafts and the central spire. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing the lightning. I thought that was a kind of a cool effect. I actually, as you can tell, kind of copied that for the Mars Lighthouse. When you are going from Prox to the lighthouse, in the background off the world map, you can kind of see there's like a little bit of a lightning storm. And you can also see the constellations that I have here are fairly similar. In fact, they might be the exact same. But anyways, now to the Mars Lighthouse. And this was the final one. And so here we have these huge spikes that are going out. The Mars Lighthouse, I wanted to depict it kind of being frozen. And so you have these huge icicles that are like sticking out of the ground, and you have the road as you walk to it, again going into this tower. Most of the tower is half frozen, and in the game it's frozen as well inside. And you have to kind of break the ice. And then up here you have the 4 kind of towers, which are part of the dungeon. That would be, I think, this picture. Nope, that's the Babby Lighthouse. Okay, yeah, here we go. So here you have 4 main towers. You have one, this is the main one. You have the kind of the dragon one over here. In fact, it was interesting when I was looking at this schematic. They only had the dragon multiple times, but there's like a fish, a man, a dragon, and then something else. But yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, and where's the 4th? There's I believe. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Yeah. So there, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, those are the 4 small towers that I have depicted here. 1, 2 in the background, 3 in the background, 4, and with the elevator shafts in the main central tower. And yeah, so that was a fun one to be able to do, and I say that a lot. These were all really enjoyable to work on, and I was kind of a cool process. This one I think definitely looks the most kind of maybe like maybe Barad-dûr from the Lord of the Rings, and again, I don't know, are the lighthouses supposed to be good places or bad places? To me, I've always kind of seen them as dungeons, and so kind of being bad. But anyways, and then the last one, Mount Aleph. So Mount Aleph is different from the others for a couple of reasons. It is the tallest of my icons that I created. And also I wanted to somehow pay homage to the 4 different elements. And so I have the mountains range here is actually changing color. So you have Jupiter represented here. You have Mars, kind of this brown down here. And then you have Venus with this green, and then Mercury with this blue, all leading up to this golden summit. Something that's really kind of interesting is if we take this icon here, let's see. Oh, that's not it. Let's go ahead and take this whole thing. This would be what you would put here, or what I put here for like most of the other places. But I took the sun and I just took away its background. So, hey, look at that, and get rid of the text, and you kind of have your place. So that was kind of my doing for this. And so rather than having the golden sun this down here, it's a bad layer, I wanted to put it up here to kind of indicate the golden sun event at the end of the game. But yeah, that's in essence the design for these lighthouses and some of their supporting things. We have Soul Sanctum. Again, not really indicated from this, but we know that it's inside Mount Aleph. Maybe in some ways I represented it with the different colors. But yeah, it was just a cool thing. So in the next video, I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about the elemental rocks that you find throughout the games, and go on from there. If you guys have any other thoughts or questions, or would like to look at something else, please let me know, and I would be happy to, let's look at those at another time. But yeah, or if you have any questions that you would like to ask me down below, I would love to hear what you your thoughts and questions. But yeah, let's see. Hold on. Oh, that's just my lightning, things like that. Oh, here we go. So there was a lot of work. These ones took a lot of time to be able to work on, but definitely worth it. Lots of fun to be able to do and incorporate into this map. So yeah, I hope that you guys all are doing well, and happy world building and blessings.